Hey you guys, Julia here. So today's video is from the woodland garden again. Although I feel a little funny calling this the woodland garden since after we removed the Norway maple, this area definitely receives a lot more light. But because I am trying to get shade in here, so it's kind of like a woodland garden in transition, so I'm just going to continue calling it a woodland garden. But what I wanted to show you are some things that are blooming beautifully in this area, and also an exciting project in the vegetable garden that I've been waiting for literally years. So last time I showed you this area, it was full of feverfew. It was like a feverfew meadow here, and now they're done blooming and they have been replaced by these beautiful lilies. And I wish I had smell-o-vision or something, because these lilies are so incredibly fragrant. I actually can smell them all the way from the sidewalk on the side of our house. That's how fragrant they are, and they are just so gorgeous. I have a number of varieties here. Most of them are from Costco. Costco carries the Lawnfield brand. And if you go to the Lawnfield website, they actually sell lilies, dahlias, a lot of bulbs. You will probably find all of these varieties here. Now there are two lilies that Michael recently bought. They were already in bloom because he was so inspired by the rest of the lilies. He decided to add some more, which I 100% encourage. Now I am usually showing you my garden as is. I'm showing you the good, the bad, and the ugly. So the ugly is the red lily beetle. I have not been staying on top of the red lily beetle this year, and the damage is definitely showing. You can see how chewed up these leaves are. Now there's one spot that is especially bad. So what I do for red lily beetles, actually I made a video about this a couple of years ago. I collect them once a day, and I just have not had the time. And I also use organic sprays. Now this patch I always forget, and I don't collect the beetles here as much. You could see what kind of damage they can cause to your plants. Now a lot of people think, so what, there's just some holes in the foliage. The plant is still blooming and it's beautiful, but what happens is that when you have too much of the surface of the leaves damaged like this, they can't photosynthesize as much, and the plant will eventually dwindle. So I just have to stay on top of this area. By the way, the Sun King Aurelia looks really pretty with the lilies. And let me show you another kind of a fail, kind of weather-related thing that happened to the hydrangeas. So last time I showed you there was beautiful hydrangeas here, the blue hydrangeas, big leaf hydrangeas. And because of the heat wave we had 2 weeks ago, they just fried. They look horrible. I'm ready to pull them out. Like the oak leaves are fine. It didn't damage them as much. It's a native plant. They're kind of used to it. They're not as much of a diva as the big leaf hydrangea. So you can see it's starting to get its beautiful chartreuse coloring for the fall. But also the Incredible, which are smooth type hydrangea, they also fried, but not as much as the big leaf. And I know it is because this area receives a lot more sun after the Norway maple was gone. But I've been watering this so much every single day and almost twice a day during the heat wave, but the big leaves still struggling. You can see right here. They looked so beautiful, and now wah. And my plan was to collect them and make a beautiful wreath, which I have done from these hydrangeas, but they just do not look great. Like this one right here that receives the most sun, totally fried. And that's why I just wanted to show you what could happen when you place these hydrangea macrophyllus in a sunny location And I would say this area receives probably 4 hours of sunlight, and it's still too much for them. I have another hydrangea that receives 1 hour of sunlight. I'll show you in a second, and it looks beautiful. Check out this beautiful big leaf hydrangea. Now this one receives only 1 hour of direct sunlight. The rest of the day it's kind of in a dappled shade, and it has not suffered as much from the heat wave as the rest of the microphyllus. I do not know the variety of this one. It actually was given to us as a housewarming present over 20 years ago, and it's still with us, and it blooms beautifully, but this is an especially amazing year for the big leaf hydrangeas. Once this one will start fading, I definitely will make a wreath out of this one. But let's go back to the woodland garden now, and the idea here is to always have something interesting blooming or something beautiful with texture or leaf color. So in the spring I have a lot of spring blooming bulbs and native ephemerals. Later in the spring I have the feverfews and the hydrangeas. Now the lilies are out. And later in the season, I will have native asters. So all of the green mass that you see here are actually beautiful native asters, different varieties, which are really beneficial to our late season pollinators. Also, the ornamental native grasses are starting to come out now and starting to add beautiful texture. But I have to make a decision about these hydrangeas. They're just way too much work. They either freeze in the winter, fry in the summer, flop. So I gave them another chance because they bloomed so beautifully this spring, but I think it's time to say goodbye. I tried for years. But let me show you what's going on in the vegetable garden, because the vegetable garden brings me so much joy. It is my happy place at the end of the work day. I just come out here, I get some produce for dinner, and there's just nothing like having your own produce. It does not compare to the store-bought. So the cucumbers are starting to come in. These are Nijinsky, and these are great snack cucumbers. I actually had to order seeds from France because I couldn't find any locally. But you can see they're starting to get attacked by spotted lanternfly right here. So I have to get my insecticidal soap out. They do respond to insecticidal soap really well. I just have to go ahead and spray them. This cucumber right here, this is just starting to come out. This is Telegraph improved. It's a really funny looking cucumber, but also really good one. But check out the tomatoes. Oh, this is Cherokee purple, and I think they're finally starting to turn a little bit of color. You know, you have these tomatoes hanging on the bushes for weeks and weeks, and they're just green, and you just can't wait for them to turn and try them. So I think it's finally time. So Cherokee purple is so delicious. It's a very big tomato. I actually, on this bush, I have some more, and it's loaded. I don't even know how this poor plant is holding up all of these tomatoes. And this one here is the Artisan Bumblebee tomato. I grew this last year, and it actually ended up being my favorite. I grew it by accident. I just got some seeds from someone. I really love the taste. Some people find that the skin on this tomato is a little too thick. I think it's just perfect. And it's a little too big to be a cherry tomato and too small to be a regular sized tomato. So it's kind of like in between. And it's loaded with tomatoes. It's a really good producer. And it's the first tomato I've had in my garden this year. I've already had mini salads. Absolutely love it. Another tomato that I grow every year is this green zebra. And I'm not like the biggest fan, but I end up growing it anyway. I mean, we'll see. Next year I'll probably stop. Right here, just wanted to show you my zucchini. So if you grow zucchini or squash, right now is the time to cover it from the squash bug. So what happens is the squash bug will come in, lay eggs on the other side of the leaf, and then babies will burrow in the stem and will kill the zucchini or squash. This really helps to prevent that from happening. However, because this is covered and pollinators cannot get in, you have to pollinate the zucchinis yourself. Oh, I see another cucumber right there. But anyway, you see that little female zucchini is probably going to open tomorrow, so I'm going to have to play a bee and pollinate it myself. But this saves your plants from the squash bug. There's another Nijinsky cucumber right here. Just wanted to show you the kind of full size of the cucumber. I really like this for snacking and also pickling. They're perfect for pickling. You can see all of the little cucumbers here. Now let me talk about the project that I mentioned in the beginning of this video, and it is these window boxes. Now I have dreamt about having these window boxes here for years, for a number of reasons. Because I felt like I needed something under the windows architecturally, and also I originally wanted to replant these strawberries that I have here in the window boxes, because these strawberries get eaten by a lot of critters. We have squirrels, we have chipmunks, and we planted strawberries once on the second floor window box, and they were safe, they were great. And I thought if I raise these strawberries here into the window boxes, it will be a lot better. I may do that next year, but this year I'm going to plant these window boxes with beautiful annuals. So as you can see, I already installed 2 of them, and I have 2 more that I needed to install. But I actually wanted to show you the actual window box, because it is a self-watering and very interesting window box. So let me do that first. So this is the window box, and I love it. I love the architectural detail on it. And originally I wanted to build my own window boxes for the space, like I did the window box for our second floor. But then I remembered that was a long time ago. It was almost 15 years ago. I had a lot more stamina, a lot more energy, so I just decided to buy these ones. Now these are self-watering window boxes. So they have the outer shell, the inner shell, and some insets. And it makes them a lot heavier than your usual window box. Also, because of this inner shell, it makes the surface for the planting and the volume a lot smaller. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, these do not come with brackets, so I had to purchase the brackets separately. And I will post all of the links to the window boxes and the brackets in the description down below if you guys want to check it out. But other than it being heavy and having less of the surface for planting, I really love the look of them. So the next step is to finish filling them up with soil and planting them up with some annuals. Alright, you guys, it's all done, and it's exactly what I was looking for in this space. It gives it that extra architectural detail, and also the colors. I was missing color in this space, and these flowers will attract lots of pollinators that will increase the pollination of my tomatoes and cucumbers. So I am incredibly happy. I will post the names of all of these plants in the description down below. There's a lot of different plants. It's going to take me another 20 minutes to go over just the names. So I'm actually going to do that in another video when these plants are starting to fill in, and I think it's going to be any time now. Also, you can see there's a little fan right there. I highly recommend, if you live in a humid area, so it's 90 degrees and 90% humidity today, just have a fan with you in the garden. Makes everything so much easier. Anyway, I am so incredibly happy with this. This humidity is killing me right now, and I'm so thankful for that little fan. If you live in a humid area, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But what I forgot to mention is this part of the window box. So these window boxes actually come with the bottom part. If you decide not to hang them, you can actually place them on your deck area or your patio area, and you can affix it with these screws so they don't move around, and also it will create really nice drainage so your seating area is not stained. Very helpful. Another thing I forgot to mention is how I affixed the brackets to the wall. So we have a very old house, and I watched a video of this old house and how they attached their window boxes to their walls, and I followed the instructions exactly. I used lawn screws and also caulk to make sure there's no moisture that is getting into those holes that I made for the window boxes. So hopefully everything will be really nice and sturdy, because as I mentioned, these window boxes are very heavy themselves, plus I put the soil in there, the plants and water. But I am so happy with this. And I can't wait for them to fill in, which probably in a couple of weeks they will be at their 100% fullness. In that time, I will update you on this project. And thank you so much, you guys, for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.